Welcome back. I can see we've got an almost wonderfully cropped Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets there. Or Harry Potter and the Chamb of Secret.
That almost sounded like the French version, I'm not going to lie. This is the Chambre of Secrets. There we go. There you go.
If you're French, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I just brutalized it. I apologize.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do. I can see some pixels, but it's fine. All right. So, are we ready to start? Okay. Whenever you are ready.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, first of all, welcome to HP2 on Game Boy Advance. If you're not familiar with Harry Potter games, I'll give you a quick overview. There's a lot of them. Each game has different versions. In Chamber of Secrets, there are 5 different versions. So you've got PC, PS1, 6th Gen, GBA, and Game Boy Color. We're doing the GBA one today because it's a very unique trick that we're going to do. This is Debug %. So the game has a debug menu that developers left behind, which we can trigger later on in the run. But anyway, we'll get started. So we can start the timer in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So the game starts in Diagon Alley. We're going to meet Hagrid, everyone's favorite character from Harry Potter. And we need to go into Gringotts to collect our money. So we need to buy some school supplies. Our money's held in Gringotts. Now, Gringotts in this game is very unique because it's surrounded by lava. So they've made this basically a platformer game. So it's still exploration, it's still looking around, but we're going to be picking up some gems to unlock our vault in here. We fight our first enemy, which is a nice little crab, who's going to block my shot. There you go. So the crabs in this game can be really annoying because they can go into their shells and then you can't defeat them. But if you keep casting, eventually it will work. But yeah, like I say, this is the GBA version. So each version is completely different. So you might have a version like PS2 where it's very much exploration, like look around the castle. But then you've got like this version, which is more platformer, more of your handheld style game. Game Boy Color is actually a turn-based RPG, which is a very fun game. There is some very cool tricks in there as well. But yeah, for today, we're going to do some good old-fashioned GBA. Now, the control binds in this game are very unique. So jump, it's not A, it's not B, it's right trigger. So the right trigger is jump in this game. And then
Why would they set it to that?
I think it's because of if you imagine a GBA console, they wanted to use the back button.
Right.
So they thought, what do we use? We've got A as cast spells, we've got B as open doors. Let's just use that button that we want to use in the top. Also, it's down here, I need to go now. But yeah, they also, at no point in this game do they teach you how to change spells. So, we're about to learn a spell very soon once we've got hold of the spell book, which is Incendio, which is very powerful. The problem is, the game never teaches you how to change spells. Also, I can't get out of the menu. Now, we found a shortcut. There is actually a shortcut to change spells in this game, which is select and A. No one in the game, like at no point in the game does it tell you how to do that. It was found by accident. Someone dropped their controller, and it magically allowed us to find out you can change spells by hold down select and press A. But for now, we have the classic. We have Flipendo. We're going to come up against some more crabs. This time we've got 3 of them.
Does switching spells help you later on?
It does. Because the final boss fight, Incendio, is a lot more powerful than Flipendo. So we need to swap to it. First of all, we need to head and grab ourselves the blue gem. Yeah, also ignore the lava. Like, for some reason, they put Gringotts like near a lava volcano or some kind in the background. There's actually a running theory about this game that like the developers just loved like the animated backgrounds you get on like Windows and stuff. So they just put as many of those in as possible. We're not going to see it during this run, but part of the game is like bean challenges that Fred and George set you. They put the most annoying backgrounds in that you can think of. Like, if you have motion blur, if you get motion blur sickness, they are a nightmare. There is one where literally it's just spinning. It just spins in the background. Like the entire map is just spinning, and you're trying to do jumping puzzles whilst having that there as well.
No,
which
that's such an awful combination as well.
it is. It's complete. It puts you off completely, and it's horrible. But for now, we're going to need to get the last gem to be able to get into the vault. So we're going to break this, pick that up, and that should allow us into the vault. And we're going to fight the big boy. We got the big crab. So I'm trying to fully charge my spells. So you'll see the meter on the right side is slowly filling up. I want to try and hit it at the peak because then it does the most damage, but it can go wrong, like because it doesn't stop there. You have to like time it, which is going okay. Almost there. Don't avoid the fireballs because I don't want to have to go to a restart point because that would be really slow. There you go. Oh no, one more. There you go, one more. And then he drops the Incendio spellbook. So what the game kind of intends you to do to swap spells is to go into the menu and swap it manually. But you can do it quickly. I'll hold it down. So hold down there. So there you go. I'm swapping spells now. Like, that's just so much better. We didn't know that for a long time. It took us, like I say, it was accidental that was found. So we're going to burn the spiderweb, and we're going to go into Harry's vault here. Harry has a lot of money. His parents were very rich. There we go. Okay, so that's Gringotts done. So we need to get on the minecart. Also, this game has very cool soundtracks. That's one thing that we do love about this game. There's no voice lines because GBA, but the soundtrack for the maps is really cool. Like it's very unique. Let you enjoy that. Okay, so we're going to meet up with Hagrid again. And now we have our money, so we can go and buy our supplies. So first of all, we need to go to Mulpepper's. And we need to buy our potion vial, which we're going to get from the wonderful shopkeeper here, who looks very much like Merlin. He gives us a potion vial, which we can fill with Wiggenweld potion, which heals you for health. We're going to meet Ginny, so she's going to give us a wizard card. That screen there with that spinning circle, that's what the map looks like on the Bean Challenge, by the way, but faster. So imagine trying to jump with that. Okay, we're then going to meet Neville. Now, Neville's lost his toad. He's lost Trevor, who is inside the magical menagerie. Now, if you've played any of the Chamber of Secrets games, you'll know that the shopkeeper of the magical menagerie is very grumpy. He doesn't like children. And he's caught me there. So he doesn't like you in here. Like, he doesn't want people to come in his shop and buy things. So he just caught me there, but he's not the most observant normally. So I'm going to try and approach from a different angle here. Let him just go past a little bit. And I'm going to cast on his ender switch here. That's going to open the gate to his back room. Now Trevor has somehow managed to find himself all the way at the back of the store. So to get there, we need to solve a few puzzles. So we're going to put this block on this switch, which will open the bottom gate. Now we're going to ignore these snails. We don't need to defeat these. They're in a very awkward spot though. They're normally down here where I am now, but they just like being up there today. We're going to quickly cast on this gate. This is what we're going to use to get back later on. They're going to hit this switch. Now Trevor also is very stubborn. He won't let us just pick him up. So we have to stun him in order to allow us to pick him up. He's also very solid green for some reason. Like in every other version of the game, Trevor is brown. He's a brown toad. But in this game, they decided to make him bright green for some reason. No idea why. So we need to get back through and head back outside to give Neville his toad back. And then we're going to head down and speak to Hagrid again. And we're going to go into the Leaky Cauldron. But yeah, the general premise of the game, this game actually, before we allowed the debug trick in the main run, for a while it was just a category extension, but there was a community vote which was unanimous. Unanimous, that's a word. Yeah. And number. There we go. So, first of all, I forgot we're gonna meet Lockhart. Everyone's favorite character, right? He's not annoying at all. So for anyone who doesn't know the lore of this game, Gilderoy Lockhart is one big scam artist, basically. He takes credit for things that other witches and wizards have done, and he casts a memory charm on them so they don't remember doing it. And that's how he got famous. He's been offered the job of Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher at Hogwarts. Dumbledore knows he's a scam artist, by the way, and still offers him a job as a teacher at his school. But the main reason why is so he could like out him as a fraud, basically.
Seems like a pretty long-winded way to do it, you know.
Yeah, you know, just risk like children's education.
Yeah. Personally, I know if there's a criminal and I want to catch them, I'd definitely hire them for a school. That sounds like a great idea.
I mean, to be fair, I mean the Defense Against the Dark Arts job is jinxed at Hogwarts anyway. Like no one holds it down for more than a year. And that's actually not even just like a joke. It's true. Every single year at Hogwarts, there was a different Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher.
Do a good enough job at defending against the Dark Arts.
No, I mean, one was Voldemort. One had Voldemort on the back of his head. You got Gilderoy Lockhart, who's a fraud. You got Professor Lupin, who's a werewolf. You got Mad-Eye Moody, who actually wasn't Mad-Eye Moody during the story of the film. You've got Umbridge, who is probably the most hated Harry Potter character of all time. You've then got Professor Snape gets it in the 6th one. And then the 7th one, they don't really do much with it because obviously it takes place really outside Hogwarts because it's the Deathly Hallows stuff. But yeah, so we're going to skip a cutscene which explains the lore. Basically, Harry and Ron miss the train. Well, they don't miss the train. Dobby actually stops them from catching it. So we end up using the flying car to get to Hogwarts. Now, look in the bottom left of your screen here. So everyone's saying, where's Snape gone? He's just there waiting. He's waiting for his cue. So Snape catches us. Also, if you've played any version of Harry Potter, for some reason they make Snape look like Lord Farquaad out of Shrek. I don't know why.
It look like Snape would, but I guess it's just the actors have to like. I guess the actors kind of seem like the characters now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Right, so we're into Hogwarts. Snape has got us in trouble. Obviously, it's really bad for us. Basically, we've kind of almost exposed the wizarding world by having a flying car in the Muggle world. But now we need to head up to the common room. Now, none of the shortcut to the 7th floor isn't open at this point in the game, so you can't just walk to the shortcut. You have to go up the stairs. And there's a very big reason for that, is because we're going to meet a character who sadly never appeared in the films. He was meant to, but they never actually included him. They cut him. It's Peeves. So if you don't know the films, if you know the actor Rick Mayall, who was in like things like Drop Dead Fred, he was originally he filmed scenes as Peeves, but sadly they cut his character before they did the release. Sadly, but Peeves is a poltergeist. He's a troublemaker, so he pulls pranks on people and he basically just has fun at other people's expense. But he's like throwing some vases at us. He's also going to animate some knights in Hogwarts. So some of the knights you're going to see, like this one here, are in like an attack position. They're going to swing their axe at Harry. But it's fine because we have a Wiggenwell potion, so we can just heal.
So you say his name is called Peeves. That's very normatively deterministic.
Yeah.
Of him.
Yeah. He's Peeves the poltergeist. There we go. So swing the axe. Does one bolt of damage. I also like how in this game the health bars are Harry's scar. I don't know why I like that, but it's just like nice. Also, if you play the game in full, you can actually upgrade that by collecting chocolate frogs, so you can get like a lot of health bars. Okay, so we're into the common room. So we need to go and speak to Ron in the boys' dormitory. He's then going to send us to go and visit Fred and George, which again in the early games is kind of a thing of the early games, like Secret of Fred and George. Also, the starry sky background, actually a reference, I believe, to the first line in the game. There was nothing about the starry sky that night. To suggest that strange and unthinkable things will soon be happening. Yeah. So Fred and George aren't actually in the common room. When I first started to like actually learn this game, I'd never played it before. Like, I wanted to do a run called Full Series, which is all 23 main Harry Potter games back to back.
What?
Yeah, there's 23 different versions of Harry Potter
does
games.
that include the Lego ones? I assume
No,
not, right?
no, it doesn't, no. So HP 1 has 5 versions, HP 2 has 5, HP 3 has 3, and then every game past that has 2. Excuse me, Fred there. So, the full series run, the world record, I believe, I can't remember exactly what it is like 31 hours or something like that.
What takes up the bulk of the time then? Do you know?
The longest run in full series at the moment, I believe it was 7-part 2 DS. It's now 6 PC, I believe.
Ah.
Because we've recently found a bunch of clips in DS, which is... But mainly because no one wanted to play that game, because that game is long.
Right.
Like, it's a very bad game, and it's 3 hours long.
Even with the skips you can...
Yeah, it's come down now because it's like 2 hours and 2.5 hours, I think, on average. We have one runner who he's basically the king of HP speedrunning. He's called Flo, and he has the world record in, like, I'd say over 90% of the categories we have. Like, he just picks a category and just gets world record. But yeah, now we're coming up to the point of the game where we're gonna break the game basically. So there's a reason this is called debug percent. Also, we're gonna jump to this port like that. Like, if you jump and press B at the same time, you skip a crawling animation, which is quite cool. So we're gonna go to flying practice. Flying practice is very simple. Just fly through a bunch of rings and set a time. We're going to fail it the first time. Like, we're not going to get the goal time, which is 35 seconds. We're going to be slower than that. And you might think, well, you're a speedrunner. Why do you want to be slower than the goal time? For some reason, this game has a very unique debug menu, where if you fail the goal time, you can still revisit the challenge and retry it. And if you manage to succeed and get the wizard card, you can trigger a debug menu from that menu for some reason.
Wait, so specifically from that menu only?
Yes, from this one only. Yeah. So we got a wizard card earlier. If I do the trick then, it doesn't work because that card's not programmed. I believe it has something to do with the fact that how you revisit levels in the game, which I'll show you shortly. So first of all, we're going to go to quit. We're going to go to flying practice. Talk to Madam Hooch. And we're going to deliberately fail. So I need to be slower than 35 seconds. So I'm gonna get the rings. I'm not gonna be like too slow. But I want to finish basically on 36 seconds, essentially. So we're gonna get a few rings. Also, you might see it a little bit. These rings are very annoying to fly through because it looks like you're going straight towards it, and then all of a sudden it'll be on your right-hand side and you'll miss it. So I need to be a little bit careful I don't go too fast here. Said no speedrunner ever. So we're on 31, 32. Okay, there we go. So that was 36 seconds, so we're not going to get the wizard card. So we still passed the lesson, obviously we just don't get the wizard card for it. So the game still wants us to carry on and carry on the main story, but we're going to go into this little broom shed here, which allows us to replay the ring practice. And this time we are going to beat it. We're going to beat it, hopefully, first try. Because like I say, this is actually harder than it looks. So I'm going to go a little bit concentrating so I can actually do this. Because if you miss one ring, you're basically done. Like, you have to restart it. Like, it's not very forgiving. But to be fair, like, I don't mind that too much because, you know, at the end of the day, the game's trying to set you a challenge to get a wizard card, so. Okay, 2 more. And I missed a ring. There we go.
Oh no! Oh no! It's gonna be over 35.
It's fine. We'll restart. It's all good.
Okay.
I do 22 rings perfectly, then I missed the second to last one. It's fine. It's all fun. This is why I set like a pretty generous estimate, to be honest.
You always appreciate generous estimates.
Yeah. Yeah, I learnt my lesson from that, from running like previous marathons. Like, At the moment, my UKSG record is two runs over estimate. So I'm not doing that here. Get that one. There we go. So we're going to enter the screen. Yeah, you got a card, and I'm going to press right now. There you go, debug menu.
Oh, fair enough.
Yep. So we're gonna press on Basilisk Layer, which is the final like boss battle in the game. It's gonna kick us out. I'm then gonna quit the game. But it quits into here. Press on there, and boom, we're in the final boss fight. There we go. So we're gonna fight the snake. We're gonna fight the Basilisk now.
Can you skip past that, or is that the final place?
We've made it a requirement to still fight the Basilisk because that's what triggers the credits.
Right, that makes sense.
So now we're going to switch to Incendio because we're going to do as much damage as we can. The only problem is because we've done this through a debug menu, we now no longer have a potion. So you have to beat this like without any health increases, without any health revives either, which is really great. Also, oh, don't get bit. If he bites you on the way through, he poisons you as well, which is really bad. Almost done. Okay, Snake's dead, and time is coming up shortly. So we're just going to skip through the final part of the game.
Okay, so time is
when the credits loads.
Okay.
So we're going to skip through a bunch of dialogue first. So we're going to be in the Great Hall. Oh, what a year it was. It was such a long year. We didn't just skip right to the end of it. And then once Dumbledore has given us the House Cup, because Dumbledore likes to rig the House Cup to Gryffindor. Believe it or not, in the first year, he literally gave Gryffindor 160 extra points to make them win the House Cup. And time.
Time.
There we go. So, that was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets Debug % on the Game Boy Advance. If you want to check out Harry Potter speedrunning, please do. It's a fun series to do. There's a lot of different games. There's 23 different versions, like I say. There's the Lego games. There's Hogwarts Legacy. And there's a bunch of fan games as well. So there's a bunch of like custom-made stuff, which is really cool. But yeah. Do check it out. We do have a Discord. Check out the page on SRDC. Thank you to Wasta for accepting the run. There is a bit of a stigma about Harry Potter speedrunning in the general community because of obvious reasons. I'm not going to say it because, you know, it's a bad thing. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys letting me run this. And thank you for a cool event. Again, thank you all for watching as well. And I will pass you right back. And yeah, see ya.
Thank you very much.